In this video, we're going to explore everything Carolina Forest has to offer. Now, Carolina Forest is a master plan community spanning over 9,000 acres. It's a highly desirable location for those residing in or moving to the Myrtle Beach area of South Carolina. Situated conveniently between Myrtle Beach's sandy shores and Conway's historical charm, just a 10-minute drive from the Atlantic Ocean, Carolina Forest offers a blend of amenities and natural beauty. It's a great choice for families because of the awesome neighborhood and businesses, and it's got one of the best school districts around. The area really stands out because of its lush greenery and wildlife. It's like getting a slice of nature while still being close to everything Myrtle Beach has to offer. So now let's head over to my computer and get started. All right, so before we get into it, just want to give you a brief geographical location as to where exactly Carolina Forest lies in the grand scheme of things here. So up to the northwest, you have the city of Conway, very historic town, very historic city. And if you missed my video on Conway, make sure you watch that. It's a very detailed video regarding Conway and everything that Conway has to offer. And on the other side, to the east, you have the sandy beaches of Myrtle Beach. And in between, you have the barrier here. You have the intercoastal waterway right here. You have the intercoastal waterway. If we look at it right here, so that's your active barrier here. And we're going to be discussing the pros and cons. And this waterway is going to be coming up in the pros and cons section of this video towards the end. So make sure you stick around for that. We're going to be talking about the pros and cons of living within this community. Here lies the waterway. Right up here, you have 501. 501 leads all the way down to the airport, which the airport's right here, and the beaches of Myrtle Beach and all the attractions. So you also have International Drive, which also leads to the beaches and Myrtle Beach on the other side or on the northeast side of Carolina Forest. Okay, just to get that cleared away. Now we're going to be discussing a bunch of communities. As I mentioned, this is a 9,000 acre master plan community, and within it you have many subdivisions, but we're only going to be focusing on a few. In particular, we're going to be looking at some of the gated communities, and then we're going to take a look at some of the communities that are not gated. So we're going to get into that right now. So if we move to the Waterway Palms Plantation, this one is located right by the intercoastal. This is a gated community, and if we zoom on in here and we click on Street View, you can see what the entrance looks like to the Waterway Plantation. This is the entryway here, and as you go in, you will see that it is gated, and we can't gain access with the Street View. But make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because I am going to be doing a video walkthrough of the community, as well as some drone footage, so you can get a clear picture of what that looks like and a feel from the ground, so you can get that immersive feel of what exactly that community looks like. But yes, this is the first gated community, Waterway Palms. And if we go back to the map view here, we'll go back to the satellite view. You can see the amenity center here. They have a tremendous amenity center right smack in the middle of the community. And all along here, you have homes that have access, waterway access to the intercoastal waterway, which leads all the way out to the big blue ocean to the north. So all the homes here have access. As you can see, they have docks and stuff like that to the waterway. But if you don't live along the intercoastal, you don't have a home along the intercoastal, you still have access if you live within this community. Hey, Chris Melendez, the Heroes Agent, and BRG Real Estate right here in Myrtle Beach. If you're wondering what it's like to live, eat, sleep in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, well, this is the only channel you're going to need. We absolutely love this town since we relocated down here a few years ago, and our #1 goal is to showcase every inch of Myrtle Beach area through our videos, so you have a complete understanding of the best area that fits your lifestyle. If that's the information that you're looking for, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell, because we're going to be putting out videos every single week. With these boat launches on this side here. So you have a boat launch here, and I believe you have another boat launch on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there's a new one on this side here, on this side over here. But this is an older satellite image, so it doesn't show up on this image here. But yes, they also have an area where you can store your boats and your RVs. So that is the Waterway Palms community. The next community I want to, gated community I want to focus on is Carolina Waterway, which is actually right next to the Waterway Palms plantation. And this is it right here. Not as big as the Waterway plantation, but it is a gated community. And if we click on here and we click on Street View, you can take a look at what the entrance looks like here. So if we drive up to the gates, and we can't go in there with the Street View. But again, I'm going to be doing an in-depth video regarding this gated community. So again, subscribe to the channel so you can check that out. You don't miss that video. Going to be doing the drive-by, and so you can check out the homes that are available in that area. So this is the other gated community. The next gated community that I want to look at is Indigo Bay. So Indigo Bay is the first gated community that's not along the intercoastal waterway. It's actually right off Carolina Forest Boulevard. Okay. So Carolina Forest Boulevard, you can go from one side of Carolina Forest to the other side on 101, and Indigo Bay lies smack in the middle of the Carolina Forest area. So if we look at Indigo Bay here and we look at the satellite imagery, first I'll show you what the entry looks like so you have an idea. So this is the entry to Indigo Bay. Now, the builders in Indigo Bay, unlike the other gated communities, there's one builder within this community, Bryant Homes. They are the ones that are actively building in this community. And if you have any questions regarding new construction, let me know. We have agents and builders contacting us every day regarding incentives. You know, some of them pay closing costs, some of them buy down rates. So they are always contacting us. If that's something you're looking for, make sure you comment below or you send us a message. My contact will be right here on this video, and we'll help you. We'll walk you through the whole process. We'll set up a Zoom call. And this is exactly what I do with my clients. When I set up a Zoom call, I typically just set up the Zoom call, share my screen, and I show them the map view so they get an idea of what the areas that they're looking at really looks like. A lot of my clients, they come from New York, New Jersey, from Ohio, so they're from all over the country. So this is exactly what I do with my clients. So before you come down here, you have an idea of what particular areas you want to look at. But yes, this is Indigo Bay, and if we look at the satellite imagery, if we just go back, so you can see what this looks like on the satellite. Now, this is their amenity center right here. They have a pool there. Okay, all this is built up already. This is an older satellite image. So all this is built up. If I zoom, let me just click on here. And if I zoom out, they built all these are home. There are homes along this whole area here. And I believe they're going to start building soon on this area here. So for some reason there is no active building going on there. Don't have an idea why. I got to reach out to Ryan Homes and figure out why that is. But again, if you want new construction, let me know and I will help you, whether it's by the beach or inland. I mean, I know exactly where builders are building in their new projects. So if you want it by the beach, and just remember this, the further you go away from the blue ocean, that same model home by Myrtle Beach could be about $120,000 more expensive than if you go a bit inland. So depending on what you're looking for and your budget, I can help you out with that. So that is Indigo Bay. And now we're going to look at the next gated community, which is Brighton Lakes in Carolina Forest. And as always, I want to show you what the entryway looks like so you get an idea of what that looks like. And if we spin around here, this is the entry to Brighton Lakes. Again, another gated community within the forest, the Carolina Forest area. Can't get in with the street view. But if we look at the satellite imagery, again, this one is not by the intercoastal. It's along Carolina Forest Boulevard. Most of the communities we're going to be looking at going forward, they are all along Carolina Forest Boulevard here. It's like the main hub of all these subdivisions. And to be honest with you, I've driven down Carolina Forest during the tourist season, the busiest season, and during off-peak. The boulevard's wide enough where there really isn't any traffic to speak of. And as I mentioned, this is the one boulevard that goes from one side of Carolina Forest all the way to the other. But this is Brighton Lakes, and if we look at the satellite imagery on this, just want to give you an idea of what that looks like. So this whole area is Brighton Lakes. This whole area right here. Okay. Let me just clear that up, and I just want to give you a view at their amenity center from the air. This is their pool right here. Okay, and these are some of their homes that are available. Let me just see really quick if they have, oh, they do have a street view. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of what the homes look like in this area. But again, I don't want this video to be so long. I am going to be doing car tours in all these communities, so make sure you subscribe. But that is Brighton Lakes. The last gated community within the Carolina Forest area that I want to talk about, it is Waterbridge. So Waterbridge is actually located right by Indigo Bay. If you remember, if you recall earlier, we spoke about Indigo Bay. So Indigo Bay is right along here, and Waterbridge is located right next to it, and it is also a gated community. And if we clear that up and we take a look at the entryway of what the entryway looks like at Waterbridge. So when you go in, this is the gated community here. Obviously we can't go in with the street view. I did do an in-depth video regarding Waterbridge, so make sure you check that out on my channel, where I speak about the current market within Waterbridge. I break down the different areas, which I'm going to give you a brief breakdown right now, but I really break down in detail the different areas and the different builders. So right in here, you have, in this area here, it's phase 1. So you have a lot of custom homes. All the homes look totally different in this area simply because people buy the lot and they hire builders to build their homes from scratch. So it's totally custom homes there. And if we look to this area, I did do a recent video where Chesapeake Homes is building in this area here. Did a video, we walked through some model homes and all that Chesapeake Homes has to offer on my channel. Again, I hate to be promoting my channel so much, but I did do an in-depth video there. So if that's something you're looking for, you can check out what the new constructions look like within the Waterbridge community. And in here towards the back, you also have D.R. Horton currently building in this area right to the north of Waterbridge. So you can get a home within Waterbridge. D.R. Horton's building right along here. The price ranges in Waterbridge, which I discussed in my other video, my in-depth video about Waterbridge, you can get a home for the mid 300s within a gated community. Now they are mixed in there with multi-million-dollar homes, so you get a mix of everything. So if you want to live in a gated community and you want to stretch your budget, I would advise you to take a look at Waterbridge. Really awesome, very centrally located. And if you look at the satellite imagery here, you can see everything that it has to offer. It has one of the biggest amenity centers in Carolina Forest. As you can see here, they have a lap pool, and pretty much all these pools connect to each other. They have walk-up bars within the pool, and their gym is pretty awesome as well. And if we zoom out here, this is what the satellite image, again, Waterbridge, D.R. Horton is building all up here, and Chesapeake Homes is building all in this territory right here. All right, so the first non-gated community that we're going to look at is the Farms. The Farms is located right in Carolina Forest as well. And if we look at it here, it's not a gated community, but the entryway, it is stunning. If we look at that right now, the entryway is awesome. So Carolina Forest, what it has going for it is that it is surrounded by trees. So when you go in there, you are immersed in a forest, so to speak. It feels like a farm pretty much. Everything, the decor of the whole community gives you that farm feeling, like you're living on a farm, with the white gates and all that good stuff. They have barns. The amenity center looks like a barn. They have 2 pools within the community. We're going to be taking a look at that really quick here in a second. Just wanted to give you a quick feel of what the entry looks like. But again, it is not gated. And if we zoom in here and we click, by the way, let me just show you the boundaries of Carolina Forest, of the farm at Carolina Forest. So this is the farm here. this entire section here. You have a lot of families that live here because the schools are right. You have Ocean Bay Elementary right here. We're going to be discussing the schools later on, but in Ocean Bay Middle and Ocean Bay Elementary right outside the farms at Carolina Forest. We're going to be discussing that later in the pros and cons section and all that good stuff, so stick around for that. Now if we switch to the satellite imagery, just want to give you a quick rundown of what it looks like. So this is the amenity center at Carolina Forest, at the farms in Carolina Forest. So if you look at, let's see if we can get a street view of this. Yes, we can. So we can't really get in there for whatever reason if we zoom this way. And you know what, I'm just going to put some drone footage for you so you can take a look at that to see, so you can see what it looks like, what I'm talking about. And if we zoom back out here, going to show you where the second pool is. The second amenity center is located. It's a much smaller pool, but you have two right there. And if we click on Street View, this is what the pool looks like. It's a much smaller pool, but at least you have two, as you can see. So that is your second pool at the farms in Carolina Forest. So the next community I want to show you in Carolina Forest is the parks at Carolina Forest. And this is a D.R. Horton community. So most of the homes here are brand new. And I believe they have about maybe 30 left. The last time I spoke to them, 30 left before this phase and project is over with. 30 left available, but there are some resales. Again, in later videos, we're going to be going in depth in each of these subdivisions. We're going to be talking about the market stats, how many homes are available, and the medium house price ranges. So let's take a look at what the entryway looks like to the parks at Carolina Forest. So if you look here, this is the parks, and you're just going to zoom right in. And you are greeted by a nice waterfall there. It says the parks. Pretty awesome. This compared to the farms it's surrounded by trees. This one not so much. You get very sunny days. So that's one of the cons that we're going to be talking about buying in a new construction home, a new construction community, is that there aren't that many trees around. Hey, really quick, I'm curious to know, where are you moving from? Leave it in the comment section below. And hey, if this is not the spot for you, contact us, comment below which area are you most interested in, and we'll do all the footwork for you by deploying our cameras, a drone, our GoPro, and all that good stuff. And if you're getting any value out of this video, hit that like button. It would really help the channel out. Thank you. The next area I want to talk about is Berkshire Forest by Pulte Homes, and they are located right off the, again, Carolina Bay Parkway, which most of these subdivisions are located by. You can also access them through the River Oaks Drive street here, but this is Berkshire, and I'm going to give you a satellite imagery so you see what that looks like. Now this is an older imagery here, so this whole area here is pretty much built up already. So this whole area here is all built up. Again, sorry for the older satellite imagery, but we're going to be talking about some of the cons in living in Carolina Forest, and one of them is it's growing really fast. It's becoming very popular. It's become very popular, and a lot of people moving in. But before we get to that, let's continue on. So this is Berkshire Forest by Pulte Homes. The next one I want to look at is Bella Vita. So Bella Vita it's one of the communities that lies right closer to 501, right along here. 501, which leads to the airport and the beach. So whereas the other communities that we looked at, they are closer to the other side of Carolina Forest, on the northeast side of Carolina Forest. This is in here. You have a couple of home builders. You have Beezer, and you also have Lennar. So this is Beezer. This is Bella Vita. Let's show you the satellite imagery here. So again, this is an older imagery. So all this is built up already for the most part. This is all built up already. All this is built up. What else? Last time I drove by, let me just clear that up. Yep, all this is pretty much built up already, also in this area here. But this is Bella Vita in Carolina Forest. Again, closer to 501, and Waccamaw Boulevard. So that's Bella Vita. The next area I want to look at is, and this is the first golf resort community that we're going to be looking at, is Grand Villas at World Tour Golf. So if we click on here, give you an example of what the golf center looks like. If we can zoom in here, World Golf. There we go. So this is where you can go golfing if you so desire. You drop your bags, and I mean, the golf course is huge. I'm going to show you a satellite imagery of that so you get an idea. That's it right there. So these are villas and condos, and if we click on here so you get an idea of what they look like. If we can get a street view. There we go. Yep, that didn't work. Let's see if we can get a street view from here. Nope. No, unfortunately, we cannot get a street view from any of these. But again, I will be doing a comprehensive tour of the community in my car. I'm going to go around so you can get a feel of what the community looks like. But that is the golf community there. Now, the next thing I want to look at are the hospitals, because a lot of people that are relocating down here, and again, I'm a relocator. I relocated myself from New York, and you know, it's something I didn't really look for because I was kind of young, wasn't really concerned. But a lot of the people that are moving down here, they're moving with their families, or they're retiring, much older, and they want to know exactly where the hospitals are. So you'll be happy to know that you are surrounded by hospitals up towards Conway. You have the Conway Medical Center. You have Midway Medical Center here. You have the Carolina Forest ER here. You have McLeod on the other side of Carolina Forest here, the McLeod Medical Center and Forest Campus. You also have a lot of care facilities, these clinics that you can just walk in, these walk-in clinics where you can just walk in. If you have a cold or whatever it is, you just walk in whatever. You don't have to go to the hospital per se. Then it's a quick clinic. You got a lot of them around here as well. So you are surrounded by hospitals along here and private doctors. So that is not anything you have to worry about if you're concerned about healthcare coverage in the area or healthcare services in the area. The next thing I want to get to before we talk about the pros and cons of living in Conway is the shops. Where are the shops? So if you look right along here, 501, you have Tanger's Outlet. You have everything you would want. You have all the outlets. So I'm sure you're familiar with what Tanger's Outlet has to offer. You also have Publix. You have Kroger's. You have the Carolina Plaza, the Plaza at Carolina Forest there, and tons of outlets and shops along 501. And then if we zoom out here and we go to the other side of Carolina Forest, so if you live closer to International Drive, you have Lowe's Food. You have Lowe's Food here. You have Publix, another Publix here, Family Dollar. You have your Circle K. You have your Food Lion. So you have many options here for food shopping. You don't have to go far. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of living within Carolina Forest. And one of the pros is that you're really centrally located to everything, whether it's if you want to visit Conway. Conway's an awesome town. Again, did a detailed review of Conway and everything that it has to offer. You're close to the beach. You're about 15 to 20 minutes from the beach. You're also about 15, 20 minutes from all the attractions that Myrtle Beach has to offer. And the good thing is another pro about living in Carolina Forest is that you're close to the shops. You're close to the hospitals. Everything is there. Another pro of living in Carolina Forest is that you have the intercoastal waterway as a barrier. And the reason I mention that is because during tourist season, we are inundated with a lot of tourists, and not only that, but a lot of festivals. So if you live in this area, if you live on this side of the intercoastal, you won't even realize there's a festival going on in Myrtle Beach. And as a local, you learn what are the best times to go to the beach. We have a lot of bike festivals down here, bike tours, whatever. During those peak times, you won't even realize there's a bike festival going on, or any other festival for that matter, if you stick around here. And the good thing about, another pro about living in these communities is that a lot of these subdivisions, they do have pools. So if you want to stay cool in the summer and you don't want to go to the beach during the busy season or busy time, On the weekends, you can always jump in the pool and cool off. But for the most part, everybody that lives here knows exactly what times to go to the beach. And the good thing is also that there are sections of the beach that are away from the tourists. You can go to the state parks and go access the beaches on that side, which are typically less crowded. There are many options. You can go further up to North Myrtle Beach, less crowded beaches up there. So there's always a way to around it if you don't want to be in the busyness and you don't want to visit the beaches during the busy season. But again, the intercoastal waterway here acts as a barrier from all the busyness that Myrtle Beach has to offer. Another pro of living in Carolina Forest, it is that the price ranges, you can pretty much get a home, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the low 300s. And we're going to be going deep into Carolina Forest, into the farms, which you can get homes in there in the low 300s. And I'm going to be showing that in future videos. So you have an idea that in Carolina Forest, you can live close to the beach and not have to pay high prices a high price for your home. As I mentioned earlier, the closer you get to the big blue ocean, the more expensive homes get. Being in Carolina Forest, you can find a budget-friendly home if that's what you so desire. So that's another one of the pros. Another one of the pros is that if you are looking to live in a gated community and you want to live close to Myrtle Beach, we have as I showed you, 5 gated communities in the area that you can also purchase a home in. A lot of these gated communities, they have lots for sale. So if that's something you're looking for, let me know, and I can direct you, and I can show you the process of buying a lot and then building your home from scratch. I have connections to builders and all that good stuff. So again, contact us anytime. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the cons of living in Carolina Forest. And one of the cons of living in Carolina Forest is that if you're trying to access 501 during the busy season, there's going to be tons of traffic along 501 here. Everybody uses it, and there's tons of traffic during the tourist season. So it gets really busy. You have to have some patience. They are doing some work, and I believe they are expanding that boulevard, the 501. But yeah, it gets really busy during the tourist season. Also, along International Drive, also gets busy because this leads to the beach. All these outlets, they lead right to the beach, so that really gets busy during the tourist or the busy season. So you have to show some patience, especially on the weekends. You can go from, depending on where you live in the Carolina Forest area, it can take you anywhere between, during the busy season, anywhere between 15, you can tack on another 15 minutes sometimes to get to the beach. So just be aware of that. That's one of the cons. Another one of the cons, which coincides with what I'm talking about, is that it's a very popular master plan community with tons of subdivisions. You're offered, you can get a condo, a townhouse, whatever you're looking for, you can find it in Carolina Forest. But it is so popular that it's getting overcrowded. I have spoken to people that moved in about 5-6 years ago, and they always mention it, how they love it, they still love it, but the fact is that it is getting really, really crowded in there. So that's something that you have to be aware of. Another one of the cons of living within the Carolina Forest area is that you are going to be further away from entertainment in terms of the Myrtle Beach area. You're going to be further away from the beach. You're not going to be beachfront. So that is another one of the cons of living within that community. So be aware that you are going to have to travel some if you want to, enjoy the entertainment that Myrtle Beach has to offer. Another one of the cons is that a lot of these communities, it could be a pro and it could be a con actually, because a lot of these communities, again, they're all subdivisions. They have their own individual HOA or homeowners associations that are in charge of setting up regulations for certain subdivisions, certain areas. So just be aware that that's where we come in. If you're looking for a particular area, let me know. I will research the HOA regulations, because a lot of them have pet restrictions. They have weight restrictions for pets. They have all types of restrictions. So last thing you want to do is to move into a community that doesn't allow pets. In particular, say your dog is 10 pounds overweight or 20 pounds overweight and they don't allow your dog, then that's terrible. We want to make sure that you move into a community that allows you to have your pets come along with you, or any other type of regulations within that community, whether it's short-term rentals, if it's long-term rentals. You all want to know whether those HOAs allow that, because that's going to dictate as to, that's going to be incorporated into your decision making. You're about to see a bunch of cool videos popping up on the screen right now. Make sure that you give them a look. Don't miss out on all the useful videos on this channel.